these trebles are just glorious, and there's so much evenness. And each string has its own voice, yet somehow it's all cohesive throughout the guitar. And this huge sixth. Hello and welcome to the Guitar Collection. Today I have in a guitar by the great American luthier Glenn Canin. Now this is a cedar double top of his, and it's from the year 2024. Now it's actually been a little while since I've had in a newer guitar of Glenn Canin's, although Glenn does send me a guitar every now and again, so please let me know if you are interested in reserving the next one. But again, this example is from 2024 and features all of the things that Glenn is very well known for, and including some special features, which I'll show you in just a little bit here. Now, Glenn has been building guitars for professionals all over the world now, and many people in concert and recordings, so many places are using his instruments. He's probably the most well-respected double top luthier in the States, and in my personal opinion, they are among the top 3 most playable guitars in the world. Some sort of magical mixture between the shape of the neck, the intonation work he does, the fret work, the action, the raised fingerboard. Something between all of these things is just so perfect, and you really just have to play one of these to know. But I think some of the sound characteristics will also clue you in as to what makes this guitar so easy to play. Before we get into all of that, let's talk a little bit about the specs. So like I said, it is a cedar double top with balsa as the in-between layer, as you can see. It is a 5 fan bracing design with some other horizontal braces and other little braces added. You will right away notice this beautiful rosette that he does with this wheat motif in the center and these little blocks inspired, I'm sure, by Torres, and little hints of yellow and green and black and tan. Really nice palette of colors there. You'll see that same thing here on the tie block, that wheat motif from the center of the rosette, and along the purflings of the guitar, you'll see this green that's very subtle and beautiful, in my opinion. You'll also see this extra C note on the fingerboard, a raised fingerboard that's actually quite a raised fingerboard, more than the typical, let's say, German double top raised fingerboard. Makes it very easy to reach the upper frets. And then on the back and sides of this guitar, you have a gorgeous set of Brazilian rosewood. That's really awe-inspiring. And you'll also see on the sides just some very beautiful patterns in the wood. Again, when it comes to this neck, perfectly playable. I mean, nothing for me to say about it. It's C-shaped, it's not too thin, not too thick. The frets are high, the action is just ridiculously low, and something gives me the feeling that this neck is one of the easiest in the world to play for me of all the guitars that I've played. He also intonates here. You can see on the 3rd string and some of the others, just small little corrections. And Glenn is a wonderful guitar player himself and pays a lot of attention to these details about playability and intonation. So that's why this guitar comes out the way it does. And you'll also see that same intonation on the saddle there, the bone saddle. Moving on to the headstock, you'll see that same wheat motif going right down the center. A really nice, distinctive look, in my opinion, and also the head has some of that Brazilian rosewood that you caught on the back and sides. Topped off with these beautiful Barnett tuners, very, very smooth and accurate. I love these tuners. And on the back of the headstock, you'll also notice this burled piece of wood as a little plating there. Adds a little sense of class, a little touch there that's just really, really nice. I particularly like how this is carved away here the meeting point between the neck and the head. It makes it to where your thumb feels very, very comfortable in first position and even below, like if you have to do something very strange like this. We have to jump right into the sound. Let's start with a couple of chords. The basses are deep, rich, and have this very open sound, and yet the trebles are very touchy and responsive, which I quite like on this guitar. It's strange because sometimes when the treble strings are this touchy and this responsive, as in, you feel like the sound comes out immediately, and no matter the way you move your hand, it adjusts immediately to that. It's very sensitive, right? But sometimes when you have tops, or let's just say areas of the guitar that are that sensitive, it'll either lack sustain or some sort of beautiful richness to the sound. All of which you could never say about one of Glenn Canin's guitars, and especially this one. In fact, the complexity of the overtones is really beautiful. And some of these bass strings just really remind me of a cello sound. The depth you get there reminds you of that feeling of, you're this guitarist with this higher pitch instrument, and then you hear a cellist go with that really deep sound, right? You get that nice imitation here. Play that again. As you can tell, I'm having some fun with this guitar. There's all sorts of places that I want to slow down and just pause and say, whoa, that's okay. Just stay right there for a moment. It's a very consummate music-making machine. And then, with this piece, Prelude 11 by Tárrega, there's so much in the trebles that makes you really realize just how beautifully responsive and bubbly the sound is. I always describe it as like little bubbles popping, It's so even also. How nice. A really colorful sound too, right? What a nice sound. It's really fun to play a variety of styles on. And it's a guitar that you can push very hard. And it still really likes that type of touch. So that's what's surprising, you know, when we're talking about a very responsive guitar, but also one that likes to be pushed. It's a very exciting territory to be in. Let's try it in standard tuning. I'd really like to play a bit of the major section from Adelita, so I think it's going to sparkle on this guitar. Well, what a beautiful instrument by Glenn Canin from the year 2024. This is his 194th guitar. Maybe he's well on his way past 200 now, but wow, bravo to Glenn. Whoever's going to end up with this guitar is going to be one lucky new owner. If you're interested in this guitar, check it out at guitarcollection.com. You will find in the description of this video a link to where you'll see a full album of photos, description, and also on the website, you'll find a place where you can enter in your email to subscribe to the email list. That way I can notify you about new instruments before they become publicly available. Thanks so much for subscribing to the YouTube channel, you all. I would love to hear what you think about this beautiful guitar in the comments, so definitely let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.